Good Saturday morning to you all. Hopefully you guys are doing great this morning, waking up. Hopefully you got some sleep in time or you're ready to get some stuff done today. We got another Watchmen update. Lots of important stuff to talk about. We have a rancher Watchman who is warning us all that there is major issues in the beef industry. We've heard his warnings before. But the beef business is in chaos. We need to talk about that. Some really weird stuff that will impact you. We need to talk about Chinese Temu shutting down their operations and all their shipping across the world. Germany turns its state security agencies on 20% of the population there. Almost exclusively, the anti-communist East is being impacted. And it's being said that it is a new Berlin Wall. And federal funding for PBS and NPR. We need to talk about that. Big update there. And the question of the day, is it really your money? What you have in the bank account, what you have in your pocket, is it really your money? Let's get into it, as well as a whole bunch of other Watchmen updates. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates that you guys are sending in from all over. If you have something to share, make sure you use the word update somewhere in the comment. That will get it to the right place. We do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They help people with retirement accounts to get out of stocks and bonds and into something safer, like physical precious metals, gold, silver, platinum in your retirement account. If you'd like to find out more about that, or if you have questions about that, Jonathan and his team would love to talk to you and answer your questions and see if it's a good fit for you. There'll be a link at the end of the video. All right, big fireworks out there as Vice President J.D. Vance accuses Germany of rebuilding the Berlin Wall. This is after German state security labeled the second largest political party in Germany confirmed right-wing extremists. Wow. The government of Germany going after a minority group inside the country. And interestingly enough, they're not going after the freedom-loving people, the libertarians, the people who grew up in the West, right? But they're going after the people who have recently experienced communism and have rejected it and are so glad to not be under tyranny. Those people are the ones protesting the government, and those are the ones who are getting gone after by the state security agencies. They're having their emails sifted through. They're having agents watching them and following them, especially if they're political activists. Interesting to see. And some are out there already calling for Germany to be stripped of its democracy status, because they're not a full democracy anymore if they're going after political parties because they don't like them. Temu, the online sales platforms like Amazon, but like cheaper stuff and lower cost too. They have halted all the shipments from China to the United States as of the May 2nd cutoff. Turns out the only real advantage of Temu was the fact that they were using this loophole in the tariffs. Basically, anything under $800 was not being tariffed. And so what they do is they just ship everything from China directly to you. They were previously using a loophole with the U.S. Postal Service, too, to get really cheap shipping. So they're using these loopholes, and President Trump has closed those loopholes. May 2nd, the loophole closed. And so here we are, May 3rd, and there is no more loophole and there is no more Temu. So if you want to go order stuff, allegedly, you can't get it anymore from Temu in the U.S. So that's a big change out there. We have reports that Amazon sellers are just in absolute revolt because they can't get any more products from China. So if you normally buy stuff on Amazon or Walmart and you're going to need those things in the future, you might want to get stocked up now because their inventory is finite and they're probably not going to resupply it for a while. If this continues, if they have to go resupply at much higher valuations, they're going to pass massive price increases onto you. Most of these sellers, most of these businesses are just trying to wait out the tariffs. They're like, this is temporary. This is just for a moment. It's going to be over shortly. We just need to hold our breath. Well, some of the sellers are starting to turn blue, right? That's what's going on. Somebody's going to have to start breathing soon. President Trump orders the end of federal funding for NPR and PBS. It's been rumored, it's been discussed, it's been coming, but now it has arrived and has happened. There is no more federal funding going to NPR or PBS. So that's good news out there. Just super political, partisan news, as well as just indoctrination programming. And why was the government even paying for that? All right, Department of Health and Human Services and RFK Jr. is now requiring placebo trials for all new pokies. And RFK had super harsh words on the measles, saying just 4 people in the last 20 years have perished in the United States from measles. 20 years, 4 people. That's 1 person every 5 years. And yet these people out there are insisting that every single person get poked. He's saying that there's bigger problems that the United States is facing, like 38% of the children inside the United States being either diabetic or pre-diabetic. 38% of the children. That's not affecting like 1 kid every 5 years. That's affecting a lot of people. Not only that, but 100,000 new autism cases per year. 100,000 per year. Maybe we should focus in on those things. Yeah, that's what RFK and the Department of Health and Human Services is saying, and wisely so, I think. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Massive 7.4 magnitude earthquake. That's a big one. Hit off the coast of South America, south of Argentina. It wasn't too close to anything, so we don't see massive amounts of damage or anything, but tsunami warnings were issued. Those tsunami warnings have been called off after no waves appeared, but it was a big earthquake. And big earthquakes in one part of the world have a tendency to cause big earthquakes in other parts of the world. It's not uncommon for us to see a big earthquake in some not so populated area, and everybody just kind of ignores it, like this one, and then boom, we have one near a populated area, and everyone's kind of like, we never saw that one coming. Well, big earthquakes have a tendency to trigger big earthquakes elsewhere. Government jobs report yesterday said employers added a surprising 177,000 jobs. Things are moving in the right direction, but even more importantly, it's who got jobs and who lost jobs. We've been talking about that during the Biden administration. Basically, all of the new jobs went to people who weren't supposed to be in the United States. People without proper papers, let's just say. And people who, American citizens, actually lost jobs during the Biden administration. Well, this report, okay, net 177,000 increase, but the jobs shifted towards American citizens. American citizens got 1 million new jobs, which means a lot of people who weren't supposed to be in the U.S. did lose their jobs, and they got passed over to American citizens. Is the Trump administration doing what they ran on? Is the Trump administration doing exactly what they said that they were going to do? It sure seems that they are. This is from Dane. The copper issue is real. Recently saw pricing done last fall for a certain type of large commercial copper wire. Update pricing in March was 50% higher. More importantly, less time went from 4 to 6 weeks to 50 weeks lead time. 50 weeks lead time. You have to get your order in a year early. Not good. I bet you the 50-week lead time is really infinite, though. They just say 50 weeks, but you get out 50 weeks, it might be another 20, 30 weeks. If this plays out this way, every construction project in the nation will shut down in a few months, unless they have already purchased and received all of their electrical wire. So wiring is very difficult to get, and it is expensive. It's getting a lot more expensive, and these guys can't even get it. And we're hearing that the Chinese stockpiles of copper out there is running low themselves, and they're going to have to stop production soon. Lucy says organic ground beef, $5.99 a pound. Coffee up $11.99 from $10.49 just before, so a $1.50 increase there. We are going to pay the price for these trade wars, but who cares about the middle class? No one. Well, remember that it's the short-term pain for the long-term gain. The middle class has been decimated over the last 20, 25 years by us just losing trade wars that we're not even fighting, right? Jennifer says yesterday evening, April 30th at 8 p.m., Walmart was only taking cash, and credit debit card systems were down. Many were afraid of hackers. They're saying nationwide with Walmart. Lewis says, Indiana, I noticed a year ago or longer that the cinnamon applesauce is not as sweet as it used to be. That is a great value from Walmart, and best yet from Value Market. They both took so much sweetness out of the cinnamon applesauce that I hardly even ever eat it anymore. I used to love it when it was sweet. The consistency of the apples that they're using is changing, and the quality of everything is going down. It's not just the price going up, but the quality is going down. The amount in the things are going down. So you got shrinkflation, you got qualityflation, right? We got the decreasing quality happening across the board. It's just one more way that the price is really increasing. And the problem is we're not even having the option of choosing to have the continued quality that we're used to. Where are you going to find that now? You have to go buy a name brand that's a lot more expensive. Anita says, I just went to Aldi's store in Cartersville, Georgia. She said, well, I'm out of quarters. And I said, do you have any more rolls? And she said, nope. She said the bank is giving them less and less coins every week, and in September they're going to completely stop receiving checks. Then checks will be done, and it will all be electronic. You won't have the option of writing a check. And they're trying to stop cash as soon as they can. That's what's happening at Aldi's, and Aldi's is just telling us the truth of what the banks are pushing. Mystic Images says, I just went to Aldi in Central Florida yesterday. The larger bulk packages of toilet paper and paper towels are much smaller and have price increases. Flour tortillas have gone up from $1.99 for 20 to $2.15 per package. There have been no pierogies. Those are pasta stuffed with mashed potatoes, essentially, right? For those of you who don't know. No pierogies of any type there for over a month. No powdered cocoa in the baking section, and no shelf label for it either. Lots of holes in the dairy section for large containers of yogurt, cottage cheese, and sour cream. The dairy section has been hit or miss for over a month. This is one of the remodeled stores. It looks like all the food sections are shrinking, and there is more non-food stuff out there. The snack aisle is the only aisle that seems to have stayed close to its original size. SBD says, I ordered groceries to be delivered from the Meijer Mishawaka store. Meijer products are disappearing with no dairy, water. 24-count Meijer eggs are more expensive than Eggland's Best for the same 24-count. So when generic is more expensive than the name brand, you're kind of wondering what's going on with that, right? Henry says, got some of that messed up chicken that looks like spaghetti inside. Foster Farms skinless and boneless chicken. It wasn't even eatable. This is in Southern California, waving a friendly hand. We wave back to you. Thanks for your report. Collapse Chat says a big hardware store in Boise. Normally we update prices once a week. We put tags out on the floor with those new prices. Yesterday was surprising because we had a second wave of price updates for that week. Not normal. This time all aluminum products jumped about 10%. So if an aluminum ladder was $100, it moved up the price to $110, in addition to all the other price increases. This is just the second weekly update for their price. If the aluminum product was $200, it's now $220, and so on. Most of these products are from Mexico. At this point, no shortages. We are ordering huge freight to prepare for shortages. But of course, they're marking up the inventory that they already have, so does it really help us at all? Olga says, Citizens Bank was down this morning for at least 2 hours. This was on the 30th of April. No transactions were coming through from their cards, so you couldn't use your cards, and their phones were going into a black hole, so no help calling them. Good thing I had cash to use at the gas station. Make sure you're using multiple banks. Make sure you're using multiple credit cards. If one goes down, you need to be able to use something else, and always have backup cash, right? Joe the Fixer says, I'm a 35-year-old jack of all trades, and I'm sure others are too. So my Cadillac CTS needed a radiator. Instead of buying one at the parts store for $150 plus another $100 shipping or something, I went to the local junkyard and pulled a used brand new radiator for $48. Installed it myself all in one day with minimal help needed. Good job. Hans says, thank you for all your updates, Steve. You have saved me and my family a lot of money by keeping us informed and ahead of time. God bless you, and God bless the community, right? All right, here's a report from Texas rancher, Texas Steader. Last few updates have not been seen, I guess. I warned that this was going to happen, was happening, and now has happened. But it's just getting started. So he's a rancher down in Texas, right? The entire cattle business has stopped its normal flow and is in chaos. No one's buying steers for steak, just low quality for ground chub. Not buying that stuff, right? All import-export contracts are either on hold or canceled. Most ranchers stop processing late in the winter and will ride this out until fall grasses are gone. They don't like the way things are. They don't like where the prices are, and they're just going to hold on to their cattle until winter starts approaching again. And they start going through their winter bales. You're about to see restaurants stop serving anything but ground beef for a long while. Grab what you can for now. All right, friends, thanks so much for joining with us. Keep your reports coming in. We'll keep you up to date on what's going on out there and what's about to come down the pike at us. If you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold, there's a link right there on the screen. If you want to check that out, just fill out your information and they'll get in contact with you and answer your questions. There's no obligation, of course, to move forward with them. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up there. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report out.